So I landed here on August 1st night, and August 2nd was the Bread of Life praise and worship. I was so excited because I came with a very heavy heart, having gone through 6 months of a lot of trials. I had surrendered everything to our Holy Mother because she has been walking with me through this journey. But there's sometimes we just hold on to something, some part of it that we feel that we want to handle on our own. But I didn't realize, I thought I had surrendered it all. But that day, at the night of adoration, I realized that there was so much more that I needed to give up. So when Don and Mark suggested that I join you all at the retreat the next day, I was really tired on jet lag and I was hesitating. But it's difficult to say no to them, and then somebody gives up their bed for me, and because the retreat was full, I mean, that's too much. So the Lord was making the place for me to go. But that retreat was just for me. To haven't traveled these thousands of miles to get here, to go straight for a retreat, the Lord had made that possible. So at the second day of the retreat, I just surrendered all that heaviness in my heart, and the theme of the retreat was heart abandoned. Yes, and as I abandoned all that and surrendered, I cannot tell you how much lighter I felt. I leave in 2 days, going back to my family, and I'm just so many kilos lighter, other than the misty dye and all the food that my mom has prepared for me. I'm just so much lighter and so happy, so much happier, and I just cannot begin to tell you how much you have and how powerfully the Spirit works in this prayer group from the praise and worship, even the Mass that y'all had. I have been so transformed in these 3 weeks that I know when I go back, the Lord will use all this that He has given me through each one of you to give back to many more. And it's for me, it's very odd that He brings me back to the place of my youth, where He first called me to fill me so much right here with you at the same prayer group. So I thank Him very much for that. But I also want to remind each one of you that sometimes we don't realize how much we have because it's right there in front of us. I mean, you come for this prayer group every time, but I just wonder how much you give thanks for each one of these leaders here. I just hope that you go back, those of you who attended the retreat, and know how beautiful that experience was. I see some of you smiling. I hope that you go back with that in your heart to pray for each one of them for a fresh anointing as they gave up all that time and energy and so much for us. I sure will do that. I want to share something more. I live in New Jersey in the US, and we have a Divine Retreat Center there, a little one. And a year and a half ago, I was in intercession there and was struck with a very severe pain in my back. Couldn't kneel, nothing. I went home, and I remember that night my kids telling me, "Ma, are you crazy? You're going back tomorrow morning?" Because it was a 4-day deliverance retreat. And I'm like, I promise Father, I'm not. I am going back. As I walk into the chapel 2 hours late, the rest of the team was praying the rosary, because Father had asked us to pray 1 decade of the rosary for every single person who enters, who's at the retreat. And they said they had finished praying for everyone, including the intercessory team. And they said, "Okay, Geeta, it's your turn. We're praying this one for you." That 1 decade of the rosary, when I walked into adoration, I wanted to bow down to the Lord and honor Him by putting my head on the floor, but I couldn't. I was in so much pain. And I tell you, after that 10 Hail Marys, everything disappeared. Cannot tell you what 10 Hail Marys can do. So I ask you to think of that every time you go back from your prayer meeting, to offer that one decade of the rosary. God bless you if you can offer the whole rosary for them, but if you can offer whatever it is you can, that this may grow and that each one of them be filled even more. Because I have never witnessed the power of the Spirit as I have over here, and I have been at several other prayer groups where I live, and this is just truly incredible. Thank you.